Guys, welcome back to the Cultured Corner podcast. Today we're here with my friend Emmanuel. So if you'd like to introduce yourself.
So yeah, my name is Emmanuel. Basically, I met Ebony at university. I studied civil engineering, and I'm now currently working. And obviously, I've been developing myself and finding my interests, and it brings me to the podcast. Well, speaking, reading, stuff like that. So definitely, willing to share more about myself as we go along.
That's cool. So the first question is about self-love. And you know what? I really want to do more of these interviews with boys because boys don't talk about this stuff. Well, men. But what does self-love mean to you and how do you express that in your life?
Self-love. So I'll say self-love is having taking care of your mind, body, essentially taking care of your mind and body and, having a positive self-image. And, I'll say for me, I'm still going through that phase of, I'll definitely say it's about loving yourself more. And I'll say self-love is actually, allowing yourself to make mistakes and not feeling that you're not enough. You need to understand that that's part of being a human being. And once you can, allow yourself to be like that, you love yourself more and you'll be free to move freely without always, having these mental blockages. You'll be more mentally clear. You just move through life, less conscious about yourself. More free. I feel like when you're too conscious, you start to beat yourself up about small little things. So just sometimes free yourself from your problems and try to focus more on solutions, and appreciate yourself more for small growth. I think what did you say the other aspect? You said the other part as well.
It was just about what self-love is and how you express it. So I was going to ask you, obviously you said about taking care of your mind and body, and obviously just like you said, being free to express yourself and be yourself without judging your every move, basically. How do you take care of your mind and body? And when you're in a place where you are experiencing mental blockages and stuff, how do you come out of that place?
Okay, so I'd say for me, for a while I never really knew how to process it, because even sometimes sharing things with people, some people may not really understand you. Yeah. But for me, what I've actually realized, and I've developed that skill, and I would advise everyone as well to develop this skill as well. But I would say for me is journalizing. Journalizing for me is a way of clearing your mind and removing yourself from that state of mind, because when you actually, whatever's in your mind, is a lot. So I feel like sometimes when you're in that state, you should get a journal and write down how you feel, why you're feeling like this. Because sometimes you don't. There's so many links to why you're feeling this way, but sometimes you have to be true to yourself. When you write things down, you actually see it this is actually why I'm annoyed. And now you can actually say, cool, how am I going to solve the solution? But when you don't journalize, you just have everything in your mind. It could be anything to do maybe how someone affects you. It could be even maybe you're in a positive wave in your day, you feel uplifted. And that, and then you encounter an event, someone you meet, and they the way their energy, their vibe, and that can instantly shift how you feel, and you just know that cool. But you may not realize that. But what you have to do now is that when you get back home, cool, you'll be like, why do I feel like this way? The more early in the day, I felt different, and now early in the day I felt great. Now I feel different, and then you have to just be like, cool, write down, and note that cool, this is what made me feel this way, and realize that it's not actually you, it's the person.
It's true.
It's actually their own, it could be their own insecurity. Everyone's going through their own insecurity. So even sometimes you might be at a point where you're at peace with yourself, even though you still got things to develop, you still got a long way to go, but you're at peace, whatever you're able to, tackle your issues through however you've done it. And you now realize that, it's not you, it's actually them. So stuff like that can easily...
You can let it go.
Yeah, you just let it go. It's not you. So I've really started to learn that. Even me, I had a little experience the other day. I was, on high vibes, and something just, an encounter with a friend, but it wasn't on the level where they're trying to intentionally do it, but they just tried to make a comment. And I was like, it's like they're trying to shift my vibe. But I realized, I knew straight away, because I was at a high vibe, so For that to happen, I was able to identify straight away what it was, but I didn't take it to heart. Also, maybe it's just them, the issue. You could just speak to them about it, but you don't need to take anything out and get angry, because if you get angry, it means you're in that mind. But when you know yourself, it's not you, it's the other person. You've not got anything to worry about. So I'll say generalizing is definitely a way of tackling these things. Like, not a lot of people really like to do that. They just like to carry their own, weight of how they feel, and they can take them. They can just carry that into the next day. But
exactly,
at the end of the day, you just be like, okay, well, how do I feel? Like, I felt like this way this morning. What caused the shift? And I think as you build that habit over time, you'll start to be more self-aware and understand yourself more.
Definitely. So basically, the next question is about confidence and what confidence is to you, and how you've used that to like go after your goals or even try to become the person that you want to be.
What's confidence to me?
Yeah.
I'll say confidence is okay. I'll say confidence is definitely being able to express yourself without having, without fearing of what others outside of your space think. And it's there's many aspects to it as well. It's also, it could be even, okay, for me now, I'll say, like when I actually work out, it elevates me because I'm putting in hard work. I'm putting in hard work, and it boosts me because I'm doing things that are hard. So I feel better daily. But, when it comes down to even, for example, like any little knowledge, you want to learn something, I would say actually putting in the effort to learn that thing boosts your confidence. Knowing that you can actually, there's a lot of things in the world maybe that you don't understand now, but knowing that you can just decide to learn this thing in X amount of time, over 6 months, that's confidence in yourself that I can do this.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say, obviously, people, obviously money definitely can boost your confidence, but I feel like if you can find that confidence from inner self, when these things unfold in your life and you do attain these levels of wealth and whatever it is, that is, that's inside and out, not rather than external confidence with like, one should have that confidence within yourself, because that confidence is you have a power within you that's limitless. So knowing that comes from you inside and not anywhere else, that alone, I think is really confidence. I think that's why I've been trying to develop myself more anyway, to have inner confidence, whatever ideas and dreams, whatever ideas I have, known that, okay, that's me, I have that idea and I know I can actually make it happen. It's only me. I'm the only one who will limit myself. And I've experienced, I'll probably say most of the times, most things that have occurred in my life, I'll say it was me that caused it. I was my own.
And it takes a lot to do that, because that's accountability. A lot of people will say, no, it was this person, or this happened in my life, or I came from this kind of background. But the hard truth is that it's actually us, the only person that
actually us. Whatever decision we make is us. So, having confidence in trying to make better decisions, whether you don't need to be perfect, but you don't need to try to think you need to make a decision based on what everyone else will have confidence in your own choice. And even if you fail, that there's some sort of benefit to why that happened and why you need to do that. So I think that's what confidence is, really. Yeah.
That's true. I read in a book recently, she was saying like everyone waits until they want to wait until they feel confident to do something, but confidence is something that you get as you do something. No one's good at something the first time they do it.
Yeah, I'll agree on that one actually. Like, it's not about the end point, it's about you knowing, okay, cool. As you go along, it's like, oh, you feel like, okay, cool, you've done this. Maybe even if you want to, like, even now, currently, like, I'm trying to write a book or something like that. And obviously I've been pondering it for time. I had a bit of, it was fleeting. I was going back.
I'll tell you something at the end of this, by the way.
Yeah.
About you writing a book.
Yeah, so obviously, like, it's been, I would say from last year, it came in. Like, even from maybe 2020, like, I had those ideas, but it was still early days when I was still on the self-development journey. So obviously, like, last year I was so fired up for it. And then obviously somehow this year, 2022, as I was moving forward, it just started to go for some reason. And I was like, oh my goodness, how can this just go? Like, this was actually something that I meant to do. And then somehow, the inspiration came back. And and I think even today, like, I actually wrote like 700 words of it. And now I feel like
ties into the next question.
The momentum's going, it's getting there now, man.
The next question is about, I'm going to talk to you about that book thing, by the way, when we finish the interview. I don't know what to call it, but
something like that.
the third question is about self-belief. So how you find self-belief personally, because each of us have different things that motivate us. So how do you personally install belief in yourself? How do you get that momentum going to actually work on a project, an idea that you've got?
I'll probably say whenever you're in I think sometimes there's this thing when you're in a state of, you're in a low state of mind, that sometimes brings you, like, you think to yourself, no, I can't do it. Like, you just feel low of yourself. But I feel like in them times is where you write things down, you use that aspect, that low state to kind of get ideas. And then, I think through even me reading and stuff, like, I feel like I naturally just found who I was in that aspect of trying to begin the self-development journey. So I kind of think I always had self-belief. I think it's my personality to have resilience. Even if it doesn't look great sometimes, I think it's just understanding who you are and just believing that, this is your destiny. Because for me, it's like, I feel like it was more about, it went back to me thinking about, purpose and, like life. We're not just here for no reason, like we all have a purpose.
Yeah.
So I think that, even that aspect of knowing that every day, like there's a purpose here. So I know, like, somehow something is gonna work. That's the self-belief where it comes from. Like, I'm not here for no reason. I'm not just any person. I'm a unique person. So that alone, just even if things are not great, like, I know that it's going to be great. Like, it has to be. There's no other way around. And that's, I think, when you build that, you keep on telling yourself in your mind positive affirmations as well. I'll say, like, daily telling yourself, whether it's if you want to say, I'm a millionaire, I'm wealthy, I'm successful, I'm worthy, like stuff like that. Just, I think I've been doing it for time. But even though maybe I'm like doing a what job that maybe I don't want to do, like, there I'll even be telling myself that. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like, I think it's repetition. Like, it doesn't always come. It doesn't come for everyone, because some people don't really even try to even be on that side of life to even try and do things. So obviously, when you're someone who's trying to do things big, you have to keep on repetition. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like practicing. You want to be. It's like going to the gym daily. You need to practice, or football. You want to play football. You need to keep on doing it. So it's like those constant repetitions, like food, like, reading, or constantly telling yourself that that's what builds self-belief. Like, if I said, 2020, like, before I started this, I didn't even know what this was. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think you just have to keep on, like, repetition over time. Like, it's not an overnight thing. Do you get what I'm saying? But I feel over time you become very confident. But then what is that? When you build that self-belief, I feel like you have to then be careful of who you're around now, because many people, the world is basically based upon negativity. There's way more negativity than positivity. So whenever you're a positive person, it's so easy for that to get knocked off. It's so easy. Like, that's how I realize. Like, I think maybe it stems back to, I don't know how God created the world. Adam and Eve, where they committed problems, and then obviously just bare, like, bad things happening. But I think God, there's individuals around that have that positive light, that the chosen ones, should I say, that we just have to just self-believe. We just have to, we know we can't, we have no reason to be negative. Do you get me? Why should we be negative?
It's a mindset, honestly. And it's also a choice, but so many people feel like it's not their choice to make, when it actually is.
Yeah, it is. It's a choice, because you can be on one side of life now, and that negative thought of, okay, no, I can't do this, I can't do that, or no, it's stopping me. But then you can just literally change that. So you get what I'm saying? So once you understand that, everyone can achieve, where everything's in abundance, really. I think just a lot of people just operating in scarcity, man, trying to compete, thinking, oh, because this person's here, I can't. But you can as well. Like, it's just you actually can. Everything's in abundance. Success is in abundance. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Or whatever. Like,
that's something I definitely had to learn and accept. That I used to feel, my dad's very like, oh, rich people are greedy, blah, blah, blah. And they should give their money to the poor. And so I kind of grew up with that mindset. But it always seemed weird to me. And then I realized, no, everyone works for their own stuff. Abundance comes to me differently, how it will come to you. And it's based on your mindset, how hard you're willing to work, and all of that stuff.
That's what it is. Even me as well. Like, I'll say, I agree with you as well. Like, imagine when I was maybe very young. Like, I didn't even know what, like, wealth, like, all these things. Like, you're just in the world, because it's just like you're in a world you're on one side of the world, but there's a different world out there. There's different worlds. So people operate is like, why? How can this person be there? Like, they're not no different to you, but it's obviously how, you know, maybe they've been brought up in a certain environment, but it doesn't mean obviously maybe it was like that for them, but you can change that, innit? And even me, I understand that, like parents, you know, they don't, not that they don't, you know, talk about it, but it's like their focus is a bit shifted. But you have to realize that, oh, like, you know, I can actually attain this, but sometimes they may not see it though. That's the hardest thing about, you know, being these cultures, our culture. Like, they may not see. It's only when the results come that's when they like be like, wow. But I think it's always hard, like, to push through your dream and you know, passion. But you know, I think we know we have it in us. We're not, you know, we've got to the point where we really truly know we have something to fulfill, man. So we just have to just, you know, move forward in that direction.
It's true. Yeah. Okay, so the last question that I ask is, what's the best advice you've ever received, and what's the worst advice you've ever received? You can take your time to think about it, because it's always like a hard one.
Good question, to be fair. But I'm trying to think. Best advice. It's all about what you become in the process. It's all about you trying to become a person of character rather than aspiring for external things. Obviously, like, you know, that's part of the process, but you know, you need to try to become a person of character and strength mentally, or just in general anyway. So even
so focusing on inside instead of outside, then it will all come.
Yeah, and it will come in a way of, you know, you feel more fulfilled as well.
It's true.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you feel fulfilled rather than chasing that external stuff, and then you've not got the other, because that external is short-lived. But you know, the character part is something that is built. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just buy that in one day. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't buy that. You can't buy it. Like, it takes, you know, time to develop yourself, how you along the process. So once you build that, like, say, even if it takes 4 years or 5 years, that you can't buy that in one day. Do you get me? But that time you put in all that time. So that's why you have to understand that it's a process. You know, it's a process rather than an instant gain per se.
And then the worst advice that you've ever received, or something that you heard that just didn't resonate with you at all, and you just thought that is not true.
So, I know it's hard. I don't know. I'm still even in two lines of this one, but it's like focusing on one thing.
100%.
And when I say that, focus on one thing is that, I'm not saying that you won't, but like, maybe, okay, cool. It's like, if you have many ideas, if you're a person where you like different spaces, like, I think you should try to explore that and see where you can get with it. Not just be like, okay, cool, this is life, like, for one focus, like, just straight streamline. You need to think of many different things, you know, so that you know.
Exactly, and everything builds the full picture.
Because even if you're on a streamlined way, you're just thinking one way. When opportunities arise, you may not even know that, okay, this is actually something serious. But when you actually explore and you have different understanding of different options, you know, that allows you to, you know, you never know what you can do with it. So I think you just have to have an open mind rather than being closed-minded and just having a streamlined approach to life. And, you know, because even like being spontaneous as well, like I even found out how important that is. I even encountered that, and you know, rather than trying to stick to what everyone does. Like, you know how, like, you know, going to school, you know, stick to structure.
Yeah.
That just limits you, because you were thinking, oh, maybe even during the week you want to go somewhere. You might be like, nah, man, I should just be focused on inside, but you might be like, oh, let me just take a trip here, and that alone can spark something in life, like anything. Exactly. So don't live life streamlined, do you get me? And just think that, you know, just one way. Just try to think, be open-minded.
Definitely. Well, that was amazing. So thank you for coming on. I don't know if you want to share your socials, if they can find you anywhere. If you have anything coming up that you want to share for now.
Okay. So also at the moment, I'm working on my book. So, now I've got that inspiration back, and soon it'll be out. So it was definitely developed from, you know, my journey. This is a short span of time. My journey obviously doesn't mean.
You know what? I think it'll be really cool to do a post interview after that process, because there's two different, like, one, the building up of it, and building the momentum and actually writing it, and then whatever
Yeah.
whatever your journey is like, and then once it's done, how you feel about it.
Yeah, because right now I'm not actually really documenting anything about it. I'm actually just trying to do it because I feel like I realize sometimes outside energy throw you off because it's a personal thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a personal thing. So I rather just be on that journey, experience what I'm experiencing around me. I'm not saying I don't need to really express what I'm experiencing too much, and then produce it, and then go from there. Really.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of is. Sorry.
Go on. No, go on.
Yeah, no, I say I think a lot of ideas are building from it, even like like a photo type book as well, where quotes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
So we'll just see how it goes, but yeah, that's just a little something that building up for me.
That makes sense.
Yes.
I was gonna say thank you for coming on the show. I'm just really excited to talk to you about something as soon as I stop the recording. But honestly, thank you for coming on. I'll put like your socials in the description and stuff, and anything else that you want to add. And yeah.
Thank you very much. It was great, man.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share with anyone who you feel like needs to hear it. And we'll be back with another one.